Why do I believe this is possible? Let's talk about the nature of leadership. Write this down. This is very important to write down. Leadership, the very nature of leadership, the very word lead is not a noun. The word lead, everybody say lead. Say it loud. Lead. The very word lead is a verb. If I say lead me, I am actually telling you to act. You cannot lead and be still. You cannot lead and stay in one spot. So leadership, first of all, is about movement. You lead people from somewhere. That leads to point number 2. Leadership is about change. You cannot be a leader and not change things. Whether it's location, whether it's situation, whether it is circumstances, whether it is environment, whether it is a sense of meaning for someone, you have to change something. If I say, let me lead you outside, what does that mean? We change in location. If I say I'm going to lead this organization, it means that I don't like where it is now. I'm leading it to another phase or to another level or to another standard. You cannot lead and not change. This is why there is a difference between a leader and a manager. Now, all leaders should be managers, but not all managers are leaders. Management is about maintenance. That's why they call it manage. Management is about following the rules. It's about protecting policy. It's about keeping things in order. Leaders don't do that. They disturb order. They break policies. They violate rules. They break out the boundaries. They step beyond the wall. So leadership is about what? Change. And this is why leaders will always have resistance. Write that down. You cannot be a leader and not have opposition. It's impossible, because you are actually breaking out of something and people don't want you to break out. That leads to point number 3. Leadership is about transportation or transporting. Now, think about it. Leadership is about, if I say, follow me, I am transporting you from one dimension to another dimension. So if you're a leader of a country, or the leader of a bank, or the leader of a home, or the leader of a department, you are actually a leader, because when I come back next month, the department shouldn't be the same department. The bank shouldn't be the same bank. There should be a different report every year. We call it progress. Leadership is about transporting. And number 4, leadership is about moving people from the known to the unknown. This is the tough part of leadership. The nature of leadership is to move people or to move organizations from the known to the unknown. So when someone appoints you as a leader of an area, what they're telling you is, I don't want this area to remain the same. I want you to move it to a place it ain't never been. This statement tells you why a leader has to have a vision. The vision is what we call the unknown. The leader has a picture, a photograph of the unknown. His job is to convince the followers that what he sees is a better proposition than where they are. And if you cannot convince the people about the vision, they will never want to leave where they are. And even if you convince some of them, there will be some who have fallen in love with where they are so much that they will become your resistance. So leadership is about what? Moving people. That leads me to number 5. Leadership is about discomfort. What I'm teaching you is what they pay me to teach people. Because it's so important to learn it. You know, every time a government wants to build new roads, for example, everybody gets upset. If government has to tear down some buildings to build new houses, there's a whole lot of ruckus first. And then after the thing is finished, everybody cruising and talking about how beautiful it is. Leadership have to accept the discomfort, and so does the followers. You cannot be following a true leader and be comfortable, because you don't know what they're going to announce next. They always come up with something that is different. Why? They're moving. When you stop moving, you are a manager. Write that down. Whenever you stop moving, if you're stuck, you become a manager. A leader is constantly leading. She is moving. He is moving. And that's why people don't like true leadership, because the human spirit loves familiar territory. They love to know where everything is. A leader keeps disorienting you. You remember on the mountain when Jesus took 3 of his leadership students to see something they never saw before. He manifested himself in his true self. And he was shining brighter than the sun, the Bible says. And with him was sitting 2 of the great prophets of old. It was Moses and Elijah. And they saw this thing they never saw before. They were so overwhelmed, they said, let us build 3 houses right here. Let us stay right here. We like this. And before they could finish the request, a voice interrupted them and said, shut up and hear him. And then he spoke. He said, let's go down. I mean, wait a minute. We like it up here. He says, let's go down. Why? Because down in the village were problems to solve. Leadership is about solving problems. It's not about enjoying accolades. Accept their applause for 2 minutes and then leave the stage and go back to work. That's leadership. Leadership never allow people to give such adulation that they begin to believe it. They are too busy to receive your commendation. I'm talking about true leaders. That's why a true leader is never full of pride. They're too busy to have pride. Too busy. It's about discomfort. And number 6, leadership is about transformation. You cannot be a leader in an environment and don't transform the environment. If the environment remained the way you meant it, you were not a leader. You were a follower or a manager. Managers don't rock the boat. Managers don't upset the status quo. Managers say things like, this is the way I meant it. This is the way I'm going to leave it. These are managers. A leader transforms. They transform systems. They transform policies. They transform people, they transform projects, they transform products, they transform quality of service, they transform even the physical environment. They may even decide to transform the whole building and build a new one. They are always transforming. Leaders walk into a place and change something that is working. They are transformers. So if I appoint you as a leader in this church, I expect whatever area I put you into to not be maintained. New ideas, new operational processes, inventions, disturbing things that are working. This is leadership. Leaders always ask, why we doing it this way? This is the nature of leadership.